Right, hi everyone. So I'm going to do, I don't know if it's going to be quick, but I'm going to do a message, a wee channeled message, maybe Mother Mary too, because she's always around, but a Mary Magdalene message, because it was Mary Magdalene's feast day yesterday. And I mean, some years I have forgot, not going to lie, but it usually just comes up synchronistically. And I would say, I don't know, to be honest. I can't be bothered watching the ones back from yesterday. Probably, yeah, actually, from what I remember, it probably did come in it in some sort of way. But I do remember Mary Magdalene and Jesus appearing in the live streams. I think it was either the Gemini or the Cancer one. So again, but I hadn't remembered then it was Mary Magdalene's feast day. So anyway, it was only yesterday, so I'll mention it when I do the live streams tomorrow. But I wanted to do a quick message. It was because as well, I finally got around to recording these unlisteds that I gifted during the challenge, which was months ago now, because it just felt like the right time. So and it was quite interesting. So when I got started with them, I felt so strongly. I thought, I feel like I need to use the Mary Magdalene cards, and then don't know, I got distracted and I didn't pick them up. And then right before I went to record it, I thought, I feel like Mary Magdalene's going to come out, right? So that's why I was just going to get the actual Mary Magdalene deck. But anyway, I'm getting sick of saying Mary Magdalene this much. But so lo and behold, I shuffle this deck, and it was honestly one of the first cards that came out. So I was like, whoa. So I explained to that person, I just looked at 144. I explained to that person that it's because it was only the feast day yesterday, and also because, and actually, as I'm filming as well, they're pulling me down. Wait a minute, I'm going to get it. They're pulling me down to one of the other Mary Magdalene decks. Don't know what it says. I know it's got a rip in it though, which I'm quite annoyed about. But shit happens. The sixth body. Oh, the body never lies. Right, that's weird because that. Again, this is all anonymous, but there was something similar that came through. So look. The body never lies. So these are I think they are called the Mary Magdalene. So anyway, I need to find all of them. But anyway, so I was so basically, although that was a personal reading, I feel similar things might come up here. And it's just, Mary Magdalene energies are very strongly around because it was just recently the feast day. And if you're new to this channel, my main guides are Mary Magdalene and Jesus. So they're always around in everything I do. So, because it's part of me bringing people into inner union and physical unions and just unconditional love. Everything I do is healing with unconditional love. So, but I just wanted to show that beautiful card because that was the one so this is a really weird thing about when I pulled that card on one of the lives a few months ago, or maybe it was just a month ago, my neck, that is like identical to my necklace. And I'm not just talking about because it's an ankh, because I alternate between a silver and a gold one. I mean, my gold one is like identical. Same size, looks like the same chain, everything. It's so weird. So anyway, let's just leave that one there and see what. So I'm pulling a Jesus card first. So I'm going to pull. I'm either just going to pull one Mary Magdalene card for your feminine energy within you, and that's the feminine energy within the masculine, and it's just, it'll resonate whoever it's meant to, or I'll pull one of each for each. So let's just see. Let's take this one for the masculine energy first. So shuffle, and we've got, that's exactly the same card that just came up in that personal. This will be funny because if I end up doing all of them today, or a few of them, it'll be funny if the same cards come up. Whoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same as my brother and sister and mother. Matthew 12:50. So that's the masculine's card, or your masculine side, regardless of your gender. So when I pulled that in that personal reading, it was quite interesting because I'd actually just pulled a card that said brother. Look, it's still there. Sisterhood, brotherhood. So let's get a shuffle and get a wee word. So I felt there was something about, needing to call on soul family for support at this time. So what's a word for divine masculines, male, female? Education. So you're learning about something right now, unless it's like official education. You're in the school of life. I would take that to mean. Awakening, yes. It feels like school of life, awakening stuff for the majority, but whatever it means to you. Right, so now let's get a divine feminine card. And then that one's calling to me too, actually. Let your light shine before men so that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. So Matthew coming through strong there. 16th of May could be significant there too, right? So what have we got? Magdalene's portal gate. Oh, wowzers. Abundance and growth on the bottom. Right, that's amazing because yesterday was the 22nd, the Magdalene feast day. So do you know what I mean? So that's, I don't know, it was weird. I was just in between filming those unlisted and I just felt guided to film this for everyone. So, and you see, I feel if you are the Divine Feminines in particular, I feel we are in a magical portal right now. Again, and I imagine it, well, it's, I can't even know the synchronicity actually. Magdalene's portal, and yesterday was the Mary Magdalene feast day. I feel that's what this week it kind of is. It's like, because right now I'm filming this and it's Cancer moon. So like I explained the other day, Cancer moon is very feminine because the moon is feminine and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So, and then when the sun is in Leo, the sun is masculine and Leo is masculine, the sun rules masculine. So right now, you know, Leo, masculine, sun, Cancer, moon, feminine energy within all of us. And then this card being called the sacred marriage. And what's beautiful about this card as well, actually, is it talks about, it actually begins, you are your own twin flame, which is very similar to what I've said the past decade. You know what I mean? Like, you really do. You have to fall in love with yourself. That's everyone. Because remember, if you don't know my backstory, if you can go and look if you don't know it, but because I didn't come out the woodwork in public as a twin flame healer until roughly 4 years ago, I had been doing that in private to people for 10 years. Like, that's the only people I help, and everyone that comes to me for a session knows that, online or offline. But the thing is, I would talk about self-love. So I would talk about being your own best friend, or, you know, if it came up, be your own twin flame, you know, you should be the love of your own life, because it's all just very, yes, you know, you're not going to not need to hear that, even if you're not a twin flame, you know what I mean? So it just was, I'm a self-love teacher, you know, along with all the other things. So, and that's a lot of what's, again, I suspect a lot of people's unlisted messages are going to be like this, because like I said, I've got a wee list to work through. And if you'd like your own unlisted, then you can book that on the schedule. I've made no secret about that. People they don't mostly, everyone chooses the live Zoom sessions, which I love. But I would like it if I had a wee bit more of a balance of people booking ones like this, because I do like doing ones like this too. It's like, I don't know, I find it therapeutic as I'm channeling it for the person, because it's always, like I said, it's always healing. But the difference is everyone can watch this because this is for the public. But when I do one of these just for you, it's all for you. So all the healing energy is going towards you. So you do feel a shift in your energy. But yeah, I really do feel the feminines in general right now, we're in a very feminine, divine feminine portal. So that sounds very fancy, but what it can mean is, like, for instance, yesterday, I'm feeling called to share because it's quite weird how when I film in advance, right, I titled that video, which was the last day of the trauma release, something like, you know, let the rain purify you. And there was lots of cards about rain, and it had like sorrow, grief, depression. You know, you can watch the actual video yourself, or maybe you already did. But the reason why that's really quite fascinating is I thought, when I filmed it, I thought, I wonder if it's going to be pushing the rain that day or something. You know, we were just like a bit of a general down feeling, right? Well, it wasn't raining, but I was crying for ages because, right, and it wasn't because it came over, it was because of a film. Now, the thing is, for some, I just, you know, I'd planned to take yesterday off because I'd done the hat trick of live streams. So when I eventually did get up, because the thing is, I couldn't sleep because it's so, if you're in the UK, right, it's so hot here right now, which you'll know if you're in it, but like, and I know it'll be hotter in other places of the world, but basically it's so hot here right now that I mostly slept with the fan on. It's really noisy. So I turned it off, but I was turning it on and off, so I couldn't really sleep the night before. So I was really tired yesterday, but it was fine because I was having the day off anyway. And then last night was a bit like that too. And so anyway, that's really made my throat chakra is going a bit funny. And look, they're pulling me. Maybe I've got to use this deck. They're pulling me to the top of that deck, and it's got throat chakra on it. So again, this could be a lot of throat chakra healing going on right now. Oh look, and then romance is peeking out. And oh my god, and it's a rose. What the fuck? And moon's poking out when I just spoke about moon. Changes in your life. And it's a new moon tomorrow. That's amazing. When I'm talking about the Mary Magdalene portal and it's a rose card. Okay, gobsmacked right now. Again, it's so, the way I channel the messages are so random. Like, if you're new around here, it doesn't come through all formal, like, this is a message from Mary Magdalene. It doesn't come through really formal. It just comes through the random way it did. But I like it, I like the way it comes through. I like it, you know what I mean? I accept myself, that's the way it comes through. We don't need to make a big deal about it, but that is kind of nuts, that. That's the way Mary Magdalene's wanting to work through me, this divine channel. So, I mean, to be honest, look, there's even a rose on the back of that card. What does this say? Wait. Ooh. I haven't wanted to admit to myself how I really feel for you. It means stepping out my comfort zone. It's time. Right, guys. I don't know if I've ever seen this card. I'm not kidding. Like, what is going on? This is quite funny. I know it's time. It's taken me a while. I do know what you need and want to do this right. And I want to do this right. Please wait for me. I will do things right between us when I come forward to you. Right. So the wording's a bit funny because that's so fucking weird. Even the sort of imagery with the guy with his hood up, it's like someone being in hermit mode going through an awakening. And fucking hell, that's okay. So, but anyway, the point is to get to the point of this, right? So I watched He's Just Not That Into You. So as I was just explaining to someone there, because some of you are younger, so you won't even have seen it. But that film is what it sounds like. It's about how, like, when someone's acting like they're not into you, they're not into you. Sometimes it's just that is what it is, right? Which is kind of interesting because that's saying, this person hasn't done anything, but they want you. Their soul's like, I want you to wait on them. It doesn't mean they don't care, but sometimes it does. So again, especially if you're not a twin flame, please don't take any of the advice of this really, unless it's stuff about loving yourself, because it's all very different. But even on the twin flame journey too, you can only go by what someone's saying to you or how they're acting, But they're literally pulling my eyes to all the cards about spiritual love. And look. So the card behind that is stay optimistic. Soulmate relationship, new romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. So, but basically, so I watched He's Just Not That Into You, and if you've never seen it, quick recap. It's all just about dating and stuff like that, right? And it's about all the, it's things to do with, it's a lot of things to do with marriage, but I've always found it really interesting because it's like, the people that get sort of pushed into marriage and they didn't really want to do it. It was like they've had their arms twisted. Again, personal responsibility, you know what I mean? And then you've got people that aren't married, but they're more in love with people that are married. So there's all these different topics that come up in it. It deals with things to do with cheating in it as well, and falling in love with people at the wrong time, and what else? But the biggest thing that I've always loved about it was, there's a whole storyline where the girl's like, frantically trying to find the one that she loves. And then she meets this guy at a bar, and he's a barman, and he's like, he basically tells her the ins and outs. So like, look, when a guy's not calling you, it's because he's not interested, basically, right? Which is what I'm saying is, sometimes you do have to take it for that. I'd say all the time you have to take it for that, right? It's you don't chase after someone if they're not, you know what I mean? If they're making it seem like they're not bothered, then take it for what it is. Don't go, that's why they say we attract, we don't chase. Whether you're a twin flame or not, focus in on yourself, and whoever is meant to be in your life, will be attracted back to you because you're treating yourself the way you're meant to be treated. You don't chase after folk that are kind of not bothering their arse at all. Anyway, so, but the whole point of that film is there's sometimes exceptions to the rule. So that's the whole romantic thing about it, which, yes, I am a hopeless romantic. So I said that at 1441. So I do love that about that film, that, the guy's like, she basically at one point thinks that he likes her, and she throws herself at him, and he's like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? But then it turns out he has fallen in love, but he didn't recognise he'd fallen in love because he was so used to pushing people away and having the power. I've basically nearly exactly quoted what he says. You know what I mean? But it's like it takes him by surprise, and then he does fall in love. And yeah, you can see it yourself. But anyway, so it was quite nice because like, I've seen that about a million times and I love it. And I thought, yeah, it's sort of trended on Prime, so I watched it. But then it wrote, so there could be something significant about that. There could be a moment like that where someone's been out your life for a long time. You could have been waiting on them, or this is them saying, wait, I'm coming. Especially because the shorts today says will call, and that's about a will call. It's about something else, but I would just take it to mean like they're going to call. It's like it rolled on to me before you, and oh my fucking god, I was crying before it even fully got into the really upsetting bits. I was like, yeah. The last time I watched that, I think was 2 summers ago, and I couldn't breathe. I was crying so much, hyperventilating. It's just one of the most beautiful, but hauntingly beautiful is how I'd describe that film. Hauntingly beautiful. I love it. I love the characters. I love everything about it. And if I start talking about it too much, I'm going to start crying again. But and the funny thing is, right, that came out years ago, and I didn't watch it when it came out, right? Because it had the Ed Sheeran song in it, and that I was, oh yeah, it's from that film. I never watched it, and then the first time I ever watched it and gave it a go was, like I said, I think it was longer than, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I watched it for the first time, and then I watched it again a couple of years ago, but I had to gear myself up to it. But whenever it was, I only saw it a few years ago, and I've loved it. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful film. And I think there's so many messages. To me, it's about cherishing the true love while you have it for not very long, basically. But it's the way in which she brings him back to life. So because if you don't know it, it's like he gets into an accident and then he's basically paralyzed from the most of his body. You know what I mean? So, but it's about how he was he was alive, but he was really dead. So do you know what I mean? It's like his soul was dead because he was a high flying businessman, and then all of his autonomy, everything's taken away from him because he has to have everything done for him. And so he's just moody all the time, right? So I think there could be some sort of theme around this about, the guy with the hood up. Again, I'm saying guy because it is a guy on the card, but you can change the genders here. It's like, oh look, and then ghost dance is peeking out. So somebody, could have ghosted you. The feelings were too intense, or whatever all the reasons were. But it's like, it reminds me of when the divine masculines go into hermit mode, and they do start going through their awakening, and then the education can come through the karmic people and the karmic lessons, not just romantic, anybody that betrays you and all that kind of stuff. Because again, if you're the divine feminine, you will have had karmic people hurt you, and you will have fallen for karmic traps, romantic and otherwise, at some point in your life. And again, it's not always romantic, it can be in all areas of life. And so you should always be able to sort of sense, however it is, your masculines had a rough time through their awakening and not being able to see through people. 1818 secrets coming out. Yeah, when I listen to people's stories, I can usually see the mirror in, and I can sense it in my own and all that kind of stuff. But it's basically the point is you might be able to see through karmic people now majority of the time, but there would have been once upon a time where you couldn't. There was once upon a time where I couldn't see around the karmic people around me at all for years and years and years and years and years on end, by the way. So I always remind myself about that, about my own journey. But when you do eventually see through people, you see through them, you can't go back to sleep on it. But yeah, anyway, beautiful film, and that's what I always get from it. It's like her cheery disposition and kind of patience, and it's really it's unconditional. I mean, like we're using this example for Twinflame, so it's unconditional love with Twinflames. But in that film, I'd say it's just love. She keeps giving him love and being friendly and happy, even though he's being really moody for good reason. You know what I mean? And he basically he's a hard nut to crack, and she cracks him. That's the point, and it's beautiful to watch. And I don't know, I just always find it really upsetting, even before it gets to the really upsetting bits. And so yeah, I was howling. But the point is, I think my guides just wanted me to purge, you know, and like really fucking cry it out. And because again, I didn't choose to watch that. On Prime, it rolls on to the next one that's kind of similar, and I was like, whoa, what's this? And then when I saw it was Me Before You, I was like, oh no. I was like, do I want to watch this? And I thought, you know what? It's a Cancer moon. It's a dark moon. I'd planned to do nothing but watch films. Bring it on. And wow. So, but you know what I mean? I feel it's got something to do with this. And then I realised after, late at night last night, it's Mary Magdalene's feast day. So it made sense to me, you know, that I was meant to be like so deeply absorbed in the feminine energy, because it's this portal. And it's just even more amazing that that Magdalene's portal is the 22nd, which was just anyway. So all the synchronicity. So let's just read it. So whatever that all means to you. And then I've opened the book up at Clear Vision. Be discerning. Use your innate psychic ability to help you understand the people and situations in your life. Look at what I just said about karmic people. Don't be afraid to walk away from what doesn't serve you now. Cherish those with whom you resonate. Wow. And also in Me Before You, that she does need to do that because she's with a boyfriend that she's been with for 7 years, karmic cycle. So this could all have relevance too. And it's, it's a shame. You feel sorry for it with some bits because he's like things like what I do. He's like a life coach and he's like, an entrepreneur and all that. But he's like, they're not well suited. Do you know what I mean? And like, they're forcing it. And it's interesting to watch because there'll be lots of people that do stay in things like that, because you've been with someone for a long time. But it's like what I've said about, you can have friends for 20, 30 years and they're the ones that betray you the most, or family members, or, it's like you don't stay with people because of the time, you know what I mean? It's a terrible reason that many people do. Anyway, so let's read this and so that it uploads. So Magdalene's Portal Gateway. Lift yourself and raise your vibration higher so your consciousness can expand into the portal. And that's what I'm saying. If you're the divine feminine energy, especially, make sure you're protecting throat chakra again, rest in your energy. Because there's huge shifts and changes going on with the galactic codes and energies coming in this week with the lead up to the Mayan New Year on Saturday there. Which we'll be celebrating Friday. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow on the Thursday night, but I'll also do a live stream the Friday night. And I think on the Friday in particular, I'll be doing like light code activations, clearance, like paid healings if you want to get a healing. Which again, I'll usually infuse it with the cards, but I might not do it with the cards this time. We'll just see, or I'll get a card at the end to sort of clarify what came through. We'll do something a bit different. I'll hold space for it anyway. And look out because I'm definitely going to be holding a Lionsgate portal event, so a Zoom. But I might actually make it more than one night. I'm thinking about making it. There's a lovely white butterfly about transformation just flew past as well, and I keep pulling loads of cards about transformation. Yeah, I was. Anyway, just stay tuned. I'll be talking about that near the time. But I'm going to be doing a Lionsgate Zoom. So. There are new things to explore and experience that will change your life. You stand before a gateway. You may enter if you choose to take that first step. So yeah, the point is, it's like, you might naturally have found that you needed a bit of rest today, but if not, take some time, if you got work or whatever it is you're doing, just take some time, or if you can have a day off, if you work for yourself like me, like just take some time to be still. Like, remember I said, I was like, my sessions are open, but I feel like I might not be working with people this week. And I feel it's because of these energies. Because again, I had forgot that it was the Mary Magdalene's feast day. Makes sense when I work so closely with this energy, you see that's going to come into stuff for myself, but also for the people I work with. Because it's not a coincidence the first unlisted I've got to, she popped out. So a system of caves in St. Bom is, and then also the other practical thing that's keeping me in the house, because I really want to go out and walk, but I need to stay in the house because I've got, I'm getting, the fan's getting picked up because I mixed up the day, and then also I'm getting a delivery, so I can't leave the house. It's quite horrible because it's really muggy, but you know what I mean? It's just, I feel it's just another, they want me to stay in the house because Cancer is about the home as well. So stay close to your shell today is what I feel I want to say. A system of caves in St. Bom is one of the oldest sacred sites in the Western world. The limestone caverns are part of the most extensive subterranean cave system in the world, extending hundreds of miles into the inner earth. The ancient Greeks, Romans, Ligurians, and others believed it was inhabited by the goddess of fertility. Oh my God, there's more about fertility. It is said that Mary Magdalene travelled to and lived out her life in St. Bom. The Cave of the Eggs is a pilgrimage site still used for ceremony and teaching of the divine feminine mysteries, just as Mary Magdalene taught her disciples around 47 CE. Tribes of different beings live within the portal of St. Baume, most have a frequency that is higher than terrestrial humans. To entry points to beautiful cities like Shambhala and Telos are guarded by gates. You need the correct energy signature to pass through the portals. Avatars have long been known to live in the caves to access other worlds. There is a local legend of Mary Magdalene ascending to the summit of St. Baume, carried by angels each morning. It wouldn't be the first time high-dimensional beings were interpreted as angels. In caves, sensory deprivation can cancel out distractions and cause your higher mind to come forth. If you can't sit in a cave, you might sequester yourself in a dark room. Oh my God, that's a little bit like how I'm seeing that guy in that hood. If you see a cloud of blue light, there's the blue light again. The blue light, the galactic codes, especially if you're a Blu-ray being like myself, focus on it until an image appears. This is the spirit essence radiating from source. It is so high in vibration that it does not form atoms and molecules of matter. So again, this is one of these ones that you're either going to get it or you're not. I want to shuffle these because they kept doing that to my throat. So I'm just trying to fit. There was something that really stood out to me and me before you too. I think it's something he says that it's something like, you know, I can't remember. It's really romantic, but he said something like, "I was just existing before I met you." It's not exactly that, but that kind of is feeling like it's coming through as well. Like you've let your light shine. Like you've brought somebody to light. So it's very much. I mean, let's just get the thumbnail right now. It's like very much Mary Magdalene and Jesus. Like you've awakened something in each other. Wow. That's quite a good thumbnail if I don't say so myself. If I cut out all this crap. And it's just so amazing that naturally came out. Because again, they just, you know, they work through me. They'll get the cards that are meant to come out. Wait a minute. Perfectionist vibes there. It's just so beautiful, isn't it? Right. What's want to come out of this deck? There we go. That's how the masculine's feeling. Emotional lost. I haven't wanted to admit to myself how I really feel for you. It means stepping out of my comfort zone. It's time. That's basically the gist. Someone's in loss, sadness, grief. I mean, it's coming through big time in the shorts and all the videos. It's strong energy. Building. That's what I titled the one yesterday. It's time to build on a firm foundation. It's clearing the way. Purification. Because someone's been healing 4-4. Are we going to get another 4? Someone's been healing because that actually came out in verse. And suffering in silence. The wording too. Look. Loss, grief, depression, trauma. Hermit mode. They want you to wait on them as they go through their awakening because they're coming in for the love, baby. Past life soulmates. That was a particularly cheesy card. They're tired of feeling alone. Tired of feeling alone. 5 of Pentacles. Out in the cold. Going through their awakening. Standing their ground against anyone that's trying to hold them back from their destiny, and particularly in real time with 22-7 on the cards. Wow. This person's getting ready to open up for a new beginning. Trust, the Fool card. You're going to be reaching out. This wasn't an exciting one, and it does fit with the thing when I said will call, so time will tell, guys. And again, do share your happy stories if you trust me. I won't share who said what. I'll just share so that it gives people a bit of that encouragement. Also, oh, that's funny. It's not. I looked at the time that it looked like 418 and it wasn't. So again, that means union around here. So it's like, you know, I feel that's like, you know, you're not meant to know when this all happens. So anyway, I'm just going to leave this here, but be still in Mary Magdalene's portal because I do feel there's some twins that are preparing to reconnect. See you later. Book a personal session if you need one. See you tomorrow on the lives.